Jessica, it's hard to believe. Neighbors tell us it all started over a pair of shoes. They say they believe there was supposed to be some sort of exchange that took a deadly turn. Cameras didn't prevent a shooting at this apartment complex Saturday morning. Two people living in different apartments tell us they heard about 10 gunshots and spotted a man lying in a red car. You can still see signs of the tire tracks where the car was. That's the only sign that something happened here.
I seen two bullet holes in the red car when they put them out and put them in the body bag.
Tenants who we spoke with off camera say they weren't concerned when they heard the gunshots because simply shootings happen here all the time. While we were walking across the complex, we spotted these shell casings sitting on the stairwell. Those tenants tell us the victim was either buying or selling a pair of shoes, and that's what cost him his life. We are still waiting to hear from police to confirm that as they investigate what exactly happened. Meanwhile, they're searching for the shooter who was seen running away. Police describe him as a black male with dreadlocks.
We doing too much out here. Crime building up in Memphis. I thought homicide sales were going down, but 2019 they're coming back up.
From our count in Memphis, this is at least the third shooting death of the year, and we're just 5 days in. It's something people living in the city think is becoming ridiculous, saying they should not have to fear being the next victim.
Shoe? I would have gave the man a shoe, baby. I'm serious. I would have gave that man, I would have gave all my car, I left it naked. Don't take my life.
And Jessica, you heard me mention the cameras here, which you would assume would help in this case, but people living here say they don't even work. If you have any information as to what happened or who is responsible for this crime, you can call Crime Stoppers. That number, 528-CASH. We're live in Hickory Hills. Simone Woolridge, WREG, News Channel 3.
At just 19, John Wolf is now facing charges serious enough to put him in prison for decades. Investigators say he rode around one southeast Memphis neighborhood with a getaway driver in the middle of the afternoon yesterday, seemingly picking people at random to rob.
Told me, you know, no speak nothing, I'll kill you. Put a gun in my head.
According to an arrest affidavit, Wolf first hit this home on Watson, pulling a gun on a man outside and demanding money. But that man refused, and that's when police say Wolf tried to shoot him in the head and missed. The man hid behind a car as detectives say Wolf shot at him again before speeding off. Then 2 hours later, court records show Wolf and his friend targeted another home a few blocks away on Fredericks. This man was too afraid to show his face, but says Wolf put a gun to his head in his driveway and got away with $150.
Take my money, put my wallet right here, take all my money in my wallet.
Inside the house were his 2 children, brother and sister-in-law. The money, he says, can be replaced, but tonight he feels lucky he and his family's lives were spared.
The money is no problem, but my life is down.
That moment has been replaying again and again in his mind.
No, I'm sleeping good for that. I'm sleeping, remember the guys coming here in my door.
And he says they no longer feel safe in their own home.
My brother stay in the house, the daughter of my brother stay in the house.
Wolf is facing a slew of charges, including attempted second-degree murder, aggravated robbery, and aggravated assault. In Southeast Memphis, Nina Harrelson, WREG, News Channel 3.
Media and a girlfriend's cell phone led to the arrest of a suspected killer in Clayton County. The victim was a college student visiting home for the holidays. Channel 2's Nicole Carr now live from the Clayton County Jail. Nicole, that is where this suspected killer ended up after a trip to the Chuck E. Cheese.
Right. Today in court, we learned that the alleged shooter went from the family's home to hanging out with his own family at Chuck E. Cheese. The victim's family tells my colleague Tom Jones that they came here to Georgia from Philly for a safer place for their family, and they ended up losing their son in what should have been a safe place.
He looked at me and he said, "Get help."
Those were the last words Alfred Drayton would hear come from his son's mouth. On December 21st, gunfire went off outside their Broad River home. The Draytons lost their son, Isaiah George, who was home on holiday break from Albany State University.
You took that from me.
So I need justice to be served.
On Thursday, 24-year-old Desiree Tolbert faced a Clayton County judge on a murder charge for Isaiah George's death. Investigators say Isaiah received a call from Tolbert
and request the victim to exit their residence to meet with you.
Never seen him before. No one that we know.
Isaiah's family says they don't know Tolbert, and police say cell phone records trace that call back to a phone that's owned by Tolbert's girlfriend, Karina Robertson. Her home is where the investigators found the SUV that was seen speeding away from the victim's house. A social media broadcast enabled Isaiah George's family to tell police that Tolbert ended up at Chuck E. Cheese's after the shooting, and that's where he ended up in handcuffs.
That was disturbing to me. Like, how can you murder someone's child and then enjoy a night out with your family at Chuck E. Cheese?
Tolbert is being held here in the Clayton County Jail without bond. We're live in Clayton County. Nicole Carr, Channel 2 Action News.
Good evening, my loyal and faithful YouTube subscribers. Today it's Thursday, January 10th. The year is 2019. I gotta get it right this time. And I'm sitting here drinking some tea. Well, actually, it's a hot toddy. I got some whiskey in there, lemons, all natural herbal honey, and cut up lemons. My throat's bothering, my sinuses are starting to act up. That's why I got rid of the Christmas tree. I was like, not feeling good. So, you just watched 3 news articles, 2 of them from Memphis, Tennessee, 1 from Atlanta. All involved young black African American men being exterminated, shot, and killed by other black men. The sad one to me was a young man from Atlanta, 21, who was at Albany State University. His family had just relocated here to Atlanta. A huge mistake. I don't know what the hell they were thinking coming to Atlanta. Coming to Atlanta, kids was thinking they're going to a safer spot. They must have didn't Google my YouTube channel. I could told them, don't bring that U-Haul here. Your son, here's the deal. Black people cannot live. We can't live amongst each other. We just can't do it. It's not safe. We have so much hate towards one another. We can't live in peace. It means nothing for us to kill each other. Even in relationships. We can't do it. There's something in our psyche in living here in America. There's so many issues. I know this beard looks rough. Anyway, there's so many issues that have defined us and destroyed us. We can't live in the same community. I had a conversation about a year and a half ago. I met a gay couple, that moved here from, of all places, Arizona. They sold their home in Arizona and moved to Atlanta. I met them while I was downtown at the courthouse. I can't remember what I was at the courthouse for. Oh, a friend of mine had got a speeding ticket, so I was trying to help him resolve the ticket. You know, that's when I used to be that superhero from running all over Atlanta trying to help people resolve. He had this speeding ticket, and we had to go down there and try to fix this problem. And while I was there, sitting outside the courtroom, I met this black gay couple, and they said they had moved here to Atlanta, and they said that they didn't like watch the news. They watched the news, they were just in shock at all the crime taking place here in Atlanta, and they felt it was kind of racially motivated. So they told me. I was in that courthouse. I'm looking at them. I said, "Where are you all from?" And they explained they had moved here from Scottsdale, Arizona, someplace out in Arizona, and they were actually built a home down in South Fulton County. And they were excited about getting to Atlanta. A year and a half later, those men have abandoned that house and sold it. And they're back in Arizona. Why? Why did they flee this paradise? They had that house broken into twice while they were living there. One was almost carjacked. And they had an incident that took place that I don't want to go into the details of it. That frightened them so much that they decided they'd be better off putting that house up for sale and going back to Arizona. Well, because they were not prepared for the amount of crime here in Atlanta. They didn't know. But they wanted to live in a community of black people. They wanted to live in a community. Their whole intention of moving here from Arizona were to be around other blacks, and particularly other black gays. Well, they abandoned and gave up that thought after a year and a half, a little bit more than a year and a half, but they're gone. They're back. So on paper, it sounds great. I'm going to move to an all-black city, majority black city, and live amongst professional blacks who are just motivated and dedicated to life like I am. I'm going to get out the hood. But what people don't know is Atlanta is just another big-ass hood. It just has pretty buildings, and they drive nice cars. But it's still the hood. Welcome to N-ville, y'all. 2 of those stories took place in Memphis. And I know a lot of people from Memphis, and I've heard a lot of stories about Memphis. And I think Memphis might be worse than Atlanta. Based on I've been to Memphis, but when I went to Memphis, I was visiting a friend who lived in Germantown. It seemed relatively safe and nice out there to me, but I didn't see the side of Memphis everybody else had seen. I never saw it. I was mainly out in Germantown, and I went downtown to a tourist spot, someplace downtown. I want to say like Bourbon Street, but I think Bourbon Street is New Orleans. So some Beale Street, so whatever street it was in Memphis, it was a little tourist spot. Then we went back to Germantown. So I never saw the crazy stuff that people talk about. But Memphis, I've heard a hell of a lot of stories from people who live from Memphis, who are from Memphis. I have a friend from Memphis. He always carries a gun with him everywhere he goes. Because he lives in Atlanta here now, but he grew up in Memphis. He just doesn't feel safe. I think Memphis would give Atlanta a run for the money. I think there are a lot of cities out there. But whenever you have large cities, but urban cities filled with black people, you're going to have problems. A hell of a lot of problems. Deadly problems. It's unfortunate, and I don't wish this on anybody. I especially don't want our communities to be labeled this, but it's just the truth. It's just truth. I'm sure there are some well-to-do, middle-class black neighborhoods. They're there. But for the vast majority of blacks living in black neighborhoods, it's dangerous. You would get killed. We kill each other too often. I chose those 3 news articles, news segments, after scaling through. This is only January the 10th? Between Christmas and January 10th, there was so much to choose from. I just said, wow. So there was another incident. A grandmother stabbed her baby, her grandchild, put her in an oven somewhere in Mississippi. I was going to use that one too, and I opted not to use it. I don't know why our neighborhoods are so unsafe. I don't know why our neighborhoods are so dangerous. I don't know why we treat each other with such disrespect. I don't know why we don't have a problem killing each other. But we don't. I can't answer any of those questions. I don't have any answers how to even fix it. Because this started a long time ago. Decades before I was even born. Maybe centuries. There's so much hate that we have towards each other. You see another brother who looks just like you, same issues and problems that you have. And don't get me wrong, y'all. there is some love towards. I meet brothers all the time that we have common. We have love for one another. But it's the ones that you run into that will kill you because it happens so frequently. You just wonder why. Why did this young man call that college student on the phone, go over, have him come outside and shoot that man dead at his apartment? What happened here? What took place? We'll never know. Now his family has fled the state. They moved back up north after their son was shot and killed last month. Their son was shot and killed on the 21st day of December. They fled Georgia, went back north. They didn't feel safe here anymore. They didn't understand what that was about. They moved into these nigger neighborhoods. When you see that sign out front that say, "Welcome to Niggerville," we need to post it up in a lot of places. Turn your U-Haul around and go the other direction. Better head over to Whiteville. It's a little bit safer. Yeah, they rude, nasty to your ass. I went to a drugstore tonight to get some cough medicine. Lord knows I was not feeling, but I was stumbling around that store literally. And I said, I took some other stuff early, but I ran out because I didn't really get so much. So I'm stumbling around the store trying to find, in this particular store I had never really been to before. And it's huge, and I'm trying to find this medicine. And I noticed the security guy following me. I didn't care. I'm like, whatever. I'm not about to steal no cough medicine in this damn drugstore. Some people might have been offended by that, but I wasn't offended by it. And as I was choosing my medications, because he kept hanging around, I said, I almost get a lot of theft in the store. People shop for the stuff. He said, man, every day. I said, well, I can assure you, I have coupons here to pay for my little medicine. He said, oh, okay. I mean, he really couldn't speak. I was like, but it didn't bother me because I know the environment where that store is located as a housing project right up the street with hood rat niggas running all over the place. There's always something going on. When he walked out that store and saw me hopping to that expensive Mercedes, his face lit up. And Lord knows, I noticed when I got back in the car, the Mercedes has a little, the Mercedes emblem that sits on the hood of the vehicle. Somebody was trying to pull it off the car. And I'm like, somebody's playing with that emblem. It was bent back and pulled loose, and so I had to put it back in place. And I was thinking, did the wind do this? I mean, the wind ain't did that. Somebody did that. Went over there and was playing with that damn emblem, trying to get it off the damn car. Them hood rat niggas. Won't be going back to that location. Too close to the ghetto. Beautiful white neighborhood, but the ghetto right up the damn street. I don't know why our communities are so unsafe. But like I said, I could have chose. There were so many videos and news articles choose while I was scrolling through. Me and my mother, she came over today and we were looking at this stuff. And she didn't have time to do a video with me because we had to discuss our own issues in our own family. Niggerville. So no nigger shit. But she's doing these news articles. She'd never seen this stuff. And she was like, oh my gosh. And there was some that we're going to discuss in some videos I set to the side. And she was like, she was choosing the one she wanted to talk about. And she wanted to talk about that mother who the grandmother who stabbed her child and put the baby in the oven. Something horrible. Who would think of doing something like that? But where me and my mother we're going to discuss that video next week when she comes back. Anyway, it is getting late. I'm over here. I took this cough medicine, cold medicine. My throat's sore. I'm going to drink tea, and I'm going to go watch some Netflix. The doors are locked. The burglar alarm is set. I am in for the night. But I would love to hear you all's thoughts. I have some suspicions about that incident when that man came, that 24-year-old killed that college student. something was going on between the kid that got shot and that boy that shot him. Something was not right about that. How did they know each other? What was their relationship? He called from his girlfriend's phone. The boy answered. Why couldn't he call from his own phone? Was that boy avoiding him for some reason? Why would you go over there and shoot him? Something adding up with that. I had my suspicions about what was going on between the two of them. This happens frequently. A few years back, this young man was shot and killed outside his family's house. They never knew what took. It was a couple of years later they found out that boy was bisexual and having a relationship with the other guy, and another guy came and shot and killed him because he was trying to end the relationship. I'm not saying that's what's taking place with this young man, but something ain't right. But that's just my thoughts on that. Anyway, if you like my videos, click like, share them with family members and friends. Again, this Thursday, January 10th, the year is 2019. I look forward to reading your all's comments and thoughts about those 3 news articles. And you all have a good night.